back in those early days of Pennsic, the way the war was won or lost was by killing the royalty of the other side.
Oh.
So you can win the war by killing off the king, prince of your opponent, which put a lot of pressure on them, of course, or like keeping their past claim. Because that was the whole war. If you kill, there was a certain the big chess pieces on the board was the prince and the king of your opponent. Now, for my story purposes here, there were two warriors here in the mid-realm, both barons, Sternfeld and Rivenstar. Rivenstar, you know, Moonwolf. The founding baron of Sternfeld was Albert von Breckenfeld. Many, like perhaps you knew him. Along with being a very effective fighter, he was also a metalsmith of awesome things. His man would take on things you wouldn't believe. So as a result, as a fighter, he was a tank. I mean, he had these are back in the days when we were making, the days of Freon tank helms. Everybody know what a Freon tank helm is?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Albert had a handmade helmet. This was like, it was a great helm. He had a stocking cap, a little skull cap went underneath it, and his great helmet came down over his head. This big wedge-shaped thing here that had the wreath on it, and it was like awesome. And people would like look at, wow, this, this was in probably like this was Pennsic War 5, so that had to be what? Like AS8.
His first Pennsic War is AS6.
Yeah.
So that'd be 8,
Okay.
more like 11-ish.
11. Yeah.
It was Pennsic 5. Because Albert had this humongous helmet and armor out to here, and he was just like his big shield. He was like a roving tank, and his companion in battle was Moonwolf, who was the Viking guy. And at that time, he had what we called the pinecone armor. Somewhere he got these bits of fiberglass and made the scale mail. It rattled and clanked and all that, but it was very lightweight. So and Moonwolf had doing the two-stick thing. So you had Albert the tank, and Moonwolf was like the
Cavalry.
that's where the Rangers came out was
Oh, right.
because it's lightweight scooting around. So we're in Pennsic 5, and it's down. The war's tied. We're down to the last battle, and we're in the woods, and it's line to line, and we're just like duking this thing out. And it's just like World War I in a trench fight here. And then all of a sudden, out of this, in the middle of this, we see Albert come charging through this one-man wedge.
Oh.
Comes flying through here and just runs over our own guys, punches his way through the Eastern guys, and dies because he was like a clobber. But on the other side of the Eastern line is the Eastern King. And just as Albert falls, over Albert's falling body comes this black shadow in the pinecone armor and does this to the Eastern King. And that was Pennsic 5.
Wow.
It's a very medieval idea to go after the king or the prince, because in a lot of battles, if you took the king or
That was
the
the
general,
whole idea.
the troops would say, "Screw this,
We're done."
Yeah, we're done.
Where
Yeah.
the food comes from, and the guys
Yeah,
on
we're not going to get paid,
Yeah.
so I'm not putting my life out
Yeah,
there."
we're okay.
Well,
You killed our
Yeah.
king. We're your guys now.
Yeah, yeah. We're yours.
You're the new badass. We're yours.
Okay.